Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Real Talk here on Shelbyville now. Bo, it's getting a little chilly outside.
A little chilly.
And it's getting wet. And
Yes.
the temperature is 37 degrees here.
Yeah.
So I know Elijah Kirby is watching the weather close and watching this temperature.
It feels like snow weather. Like I'm feeling like it's just we're just not at that point though. I don't think we're going.
We're going to be 3 or 4 degrees off probably.
It's cold. Bundle up. If you got to get out in this mess,
if it does drop down, the way I see it, it's probably going to sleet or get a little freezing rain. No snow.
And if it can do it anywhere, it can do it right here in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
We can get all the seasons.
That's one thing this time of the year when everybody, especially the kids, they get excited about the snow. Shelbyville in this area, southern middle Tennessee, is at one of those lines of everything's got to line up just right to get that snow.
That's right.
And the cold air at a certain level can create sleet, ice storm, or snow, or all of it. And that layer of cold air and Elijah, I'm sure
get some big ones.
Elijah will probably be talking about this a lot this year, but it's tricky for Bedford County to get snow.
I'm sure it is. I mean, it's tricky to even plan around here sometimes.
All right, Bo, I want us to talk about two things today.
All right.
Both of these have been in conversation on Facebook, on social media. I saw a post this morning about bullying in schools and so forth in our local schools. And we want to talk about that. And then I want to talk about an article I just posted here, maybe an hour and a half ago on Shelbyville Now's Facebook page. It's called the Good Old Boy Network. And I think there's some people reading this, and it describes a situation that exists in Bedford County and a lot of other counties, as people have pointed out. But I want to talk about that and some of the ins and outs of how we get there and how we stay there and how we can move past it. And I'm not coming this from a critical standpoint. I'm coming this from a standpoint of I'm a citizen of Bedford County, and I want to see my county represented properly and everybody have a voice that's paying taxes. Okay.
I look forward to that conversation. And I really do. I mean, this is an important conversation. It's a good piece. If you haven't read it, I suggest you do, and please comment and please conversate with us as we do some real talk here.
And before we do, though, I want to thank our sponsors, North Star Services. They're out of Nashville, but they serve Bedford County.
Oh yeah, you see North Star.
They do restorations from fire damage, water damage, or most any type of damage. They'll come clean it up, and they're licensed contractors that can come in and take care of your situation, work with your insurance company to get things restored back to the way they were. Let's take a break and hear from them. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about bullying to start with. Okay. We'll be right back.
Water, fire, or mold damage. Call North Star Services, Nashville's local non-franchise restoration pros. We respond 24/7 to stop damage fast, handle drying and cleanup, and manage repairs start to finish. As a licensed general contractor with 20-plus years experience, we coordinate directly with your insurance and offer free estimates, serving all of Middle Tennessee, including Bedford County. Restore today. Rebuild with confidence. Call 615-203-9573.
All righty, Bo. Welcome back in here, everybody. And we're going to talk about the bullying situation. I saw a thread. I don't know where it was exactly, but it was something happened to our screen here. It does that from time to time.
It likes to just tell us it's there.
I saw a thread talking about bullying and how that they're in our school systems. Of course, that's where our kids are. It's where they spend most of their time in their young lives. Having to deal with bullying, and there's been some lives lost because of it, according to what I was reading, and I'd heard of some of it. But you have a child in school. I've had kids in school, and there's always going to be that bully on the playground or somebody to get a leg up. But we were talking before we came on here about a different environment from where we were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Very different.
You've got Facebook, you've got TikTok, you've got all these different avenues of communication that kids are bombarded with now. And that just amplifies the situation. So it could be a 24/7 thing.
It could be. And what it is, and it is actually. It starts out with good with these social media, and yeah, all things, I think that social media or things online, there's a lot of good, but with the good, there's the bad, and there's the warnings and the danger zones. And look, this is what's happening. I mean, it's not just the bully at school. Now, when they go home, they've got this device or whatever, and then it keeps on going there. A lot of times kids keep it to themselves. They don't tell their parents. If parents aren't checking in on it, they're not asking questions. It lingers on and lingers on. This is what type of bullying we're talking about. Now, I'm sure there's still the good old bully
in the playground,
that comes around all the time. But this right here is serious. When you hear about kids either taking their own lives or losing lives because of this situation, this is affecting families big time. And I know that teachers are aware of the situation. It's been we've raised a lot of awareness over bullying in the last 15 or so years. I mean, you've seen a lot about that, but yet it continues to go on. And a lot of that is human nature. I mean, there's these are young minds developing, but that's where we are. I'd say at a different point now. It's because of these social media and these type of online tools, they are getting to a mind that is not fully developed yet. And things that we think of that are logic aren't necessarily logic to them. I mean, these are young minds, and they're being infiltrated by adults. I mean, there's always there's
adults preying. They're preying on them. And from another aspect, not the bullying, but they're being preyed upon on top of having to deal with the bullies of kids their own age or maybe just a little bit older than them. And I'm sitting here thinking what has changed over the last 20 years. And I'm going to think that the ability to discipline children in school by our teachers and our administration has become watered down to the point they're probably somewhat reluctant or afraid to. They have certain protocols they have to go through, where when I was a kid, if you misbehave, you got your rear end beat.
I wouldn't recognize that. I would not recognize that type of teaching or learning environment. The learning environment that I was part of was you had respect for the person that taught. And if you kept on, it started, you might go out in the hall but you were going to get licks at the end. Licks. I mean, you're going to get paddled, and they had witnesses in there so that you would, so that you're not getting just beat down. I mean, this was a controlled, but somewhere down the road, somebody sued somebody and then
that's bad stuff.
That's bad. That's when you're going down, when you're taking the Bible away from government, and when you're taking the paddles out of the principals or the teacher's hands. Right there are two of the biggest issues that we're dealing with.
And there's no deterrent anymore for the kids. So you got the ones that are going to, and it starts at home, Bo. We were talking about this. These kids that are bullying are probably watching their parents bully.
Yes.
Okay. So they're emulating what they see at home.
What they know.
All
that's
right,
what they see.
They bring it down to the school level, and it's nonstop. And teachers cannot be with every child the entire time they're there. There's going to be times where they're alone.
Yes. And
there's no way to get out of it. So every teacher I know personally, I know without a shadow of a doubt would stop in and protect a child.
And would recognize it even before it get out of hand. But a lot of things you can't recognize and it is out of hand again. And it's almost, it's kind of, it's one of those deals that you just hate to see, but the parenting, it has to be there. And what a kid sees, right, he's going to emulate. And a lot of times the bullies are the one, they're being bullied on one hand. So they pass it on to the other one.
I want to tell people what I'm doing. When I'm looking over this way, I'm looking for your comments. I'm not ignoring what Bo's saying. I'm listening to him, and I'm trying to see what you guys.
I'm going to talk anyway, even if he's ignoring me.
Yeah, but I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to get, and there's a whole lot. Greg Davenport's talking about Mr. Saylor tore me up.
Oh yes.
Joe
Mr.
Fish
Bishop
is watching. Hey Joe, Coach Potts and Coach Edwards.
Oh yeah.
Hornaday. May God bless Bubba Rose. He did knock a little sense into me. All right.
Look, and there were rumors that there were some that had like spikes on there. And I know, but it scared you.
I know.
It kept me. I'm like, should I? No, I shouldn't throw this.
Ed Carson.
Mr. Carson. Okay. I remember
he had his closet. You didn't want to go in the closet.
No, great teachers, but he would discipline. Discipline was a big part of being a teacher. It is. It still is.
Yeah.
And when you lose that, how do you teach?
You can't. It turns into crowd control. And these teachers are put at a disadvantage. Now, from a parent standpoint, and this is just me talking, If I were in that position where I had a child being bullied, I know that a teacher can't stop it. It can't. That at some point your child has to stand up for themselves, or they have to address it and deal with it themselves. And some kids aren't able to deal with it. And if I've got a child like that, I'm going to homeschool them. That's where I'm going, or put them in a private school where they have more one-on-one interaction. And we don't have many options around.
And here I go again saying 10 years ago. Well, 10 years ago, when you would have said that, a lot of times that would have been harder for the parent to do. Nowadays, not so much. No. You hear of a lot of homeschooling. You hear of a lot of success stories. It's not the same homeschooling of the 80s and 90s. It is a well-rounded, it has not just taught students, but well-rounded individuals socially. And hey, I'm with you there. I mean, if there's no other choice, if you're doing your parenting at home and you know you're doing the right thing, but then at school you're having to reset every day because
it's different with every child.
It is.
That's why I say if I had a child that was the victim of that, I know teachers and administration can't do a whole lot about it other than try to catch it and punish it.
Yeah.
Now I heard some comments from people that said that they had turned it in to the administration and nothing was done, and they ignored it. And if it was somebody with a certain name, they would get by with it and all this and that. And that comes down. And sometimes though, we misinterpret some things from bullying from just not getting along. Okay. But bullying is where one gets the upper hand on the other and intimidates to the point there's a fear.
Yes.
Okay. When that fear is there, that's when it's bullying.
That's right. And let's just be clear. This happens in every school. No school is being singled out here. Yeah. We're talking about a culture of bullying that still exists.
It's there. It's in every school. As long as there's people, there's going to be this taking place.
There is.
It has escalated to the point, though, Bo, that as a parent, you've got to pay attention real close to what's going on. And honestly, one of the big issues, and we've talked about this before, are these devices right here. At what point is a child ready to take one of these and have it as a privilege? And that's the way I view it. It's a privilege.
Yes, it is.
At what age? And at what point do you let them get into social media? I'm seeing 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds right now in social media, on TikTok, doing this stuff where they become preyed upon.
Yes.
But then another time too, they're dealing with friends that are not friends.
No.
That are bullying them.
No. So. And it has to be planned out. When you have a child at a young age, you have to make that plan there. And it's great to surround yourself with other friends and parents that are on the same page. That's like, when it comes to phone time, we're out.
Yeah.
And this is our plan that we're gonna do. We're gonna adhere to it. We're gonna stick to it. We need help. You do. And I think that could grow a healthy culture. Look, they don't need to have it that young.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't want to offend anybody when I say this, and when I said that a minute ago, I'm not saying if you've got a child that's being bullied to run from the public education system, you have to take care of your child. Okay, this is nothing that's derogatory toward public education.
This would be like an extreme situation.
It's a situation. If your kid is not able to learn in the environment to where that takes place, and they're getting that fear or whatever, they end up not wanting to go to school. If they're not wanting to go to school, they're concentrating on that one problem. I'm not going to hesitate for a bit to pull my kid out of school.
And I know
that's nothing against the teachers or administration. It's just the way my child needs to be. If that's the case,
yes,
I'm not going to force the issue and say you got to go when there's other options.
I agree with you. And I'll throw
that's not to. I don't want to offend anybody because that's not saying we got great teachers here, and I think we probably got some of the best around this area.
You're exactly right. But this might not be the best, most popular thing to say, but when you encounter a bully, a lot of times that bullying, if you cow down, it'll extend and go. If you pop that bully one good time, it can end right there. Yeah. And I know that's not the most popular thing, but that's exactly how to work. It works a lot of times in real life, and I've seen it happen in my life and in others' lives around them where they've been bullied, and it happens. And sometimes the person that's getting bullied punches back and they get in trouble too. I don't agree with that, but whatever the cost is. I'm not saying punch people, but a bully, you've got to defend yourself.
Yeah, and it's bad in schools, but What they get to be 18, 19, 20.
There's-
It's there. It's big time stuff.
There's
there.
45-year-old bullies. There's 60-year-old
yeah,
bullies. They're going to exist. We have to learn to deal with bullies.
Yeah.
But when we have an undeveloped mind and a child that's at risk, we've got to be there and we've got to walk with them.
We got to protect them and make sure that they get their education.
Yes.
All right. Changing gears, I want to talk about the Good Old Boy Network article that I posted earlier.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of people say, you need to tell us who it is. Name names. Okay, I'm going to say this. The Good Old Boy Network has been around in Bedford County as long as I've been alive, and it was there before I was born. It goes back to the 30s, 40s, 50s. After World War II especially, we started seeing, and this happened in all the communities around, but specifically Bedford County, because that's where I'm sitting. I'm sitting right in Bedford County. That's what we'll talk about. If you don't know the names of the people that are involved in this, then you need to start paying attention and getting involved and find out, because it doesn't take long to see how it's evolved and how the network is in place.
No.
Okay. And I'm not saying this is people. I'm not criticizing the system that we're in, but I am criticizing the system we're in because
that's fair.
We have allowed it to happen.
That's fair. That's
the
fair.
General public has turned their head and not taken care of business like they should have, not paid attention.
We're absent. They're
absent. Absolutely. And that's the reason we're in the shape we're in. Now, if you read the article, it describes, I think, every aspect of it here in Bedford County, because I went through the entire process of things that I've seen, things that I've heard, things that I've experienced. And I'll just be point blank. I've been a part of the Good Old Boy system. I've had family in county government, in city government. It's going to happen, but as somebody that has relatives involved, you can't use that as leverage against people. And people do, because they're human, and that's what happens. And that's why everybody involved putting a spotlight on it prevents it from happening.
That's I couldn't say it any better. And it was a very detailed what you wrote there. And look, when you say ask who are they, it's simple. You could probably see in one or two meetings, when somebody is really genuinely asking questions or representing their constituents, those I would say are the ones that are trying to represent and serve the right way. And a lot of the ones that you don't hear speak a lot, or there are several ways that you can tell. It's not always if you don't talk, that means you're not representing, but a lot of times,
it's a good indication.
It is a good indication. And that has always existed. Look, it's not existed to extreme level, like in McNairy County in the 50s and 60s with Buford Pusser and all of the moonshine. That got really violent and really dirty. And that Good Old Boy system was evil there. And
that's
here,
not what we're talking about here.
We're not talking about that here. What we're talking about here is it's a way, it's a culture of I guess influence. You would say influence and they don't ask questions. And a lot of times it has to be who you are, what your name is. Look, everybody's the same, should be treated the same.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's where you see the big difference of the Good Old Boy Network.
Yeah. Somebody threw out that it's that way in Giles County. It's that way in another county. That's true. But I'm sitting in Bedford County.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And that's my county.
That's
all right.
My
and
county.
I would like to see at some point hit the reset button. And some of the folks realize that, hey, I'm really in a seat here that I shouldn't be in because I'm being influenced too easy and I'm not really representing. I would love to everybody just hit the reset button, reboot it, and start all over.
Yes.
But it ain't going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. And a great way to do it would be just to let's just pretend you have your meetings. That's the day you show up. But in the meantime, you've got a month in between. So that's like game time. That's when you're around your constituents. You're taking the pulse of your constituents. You're asking what's on your mind. There may not be a lot. And that don't mean hold town forums. That just means being there, being present, and fielding any call, no matter what. If you agree with it personally or not, you take self out. And now self has to be removed.
I'll give you one example. This deal when the Grindstone Cowboy was winding things down, and we had this deal where they were wanting to be able to serve liquor out on the sidewalk. And I think it was, possibly anywhere on the square they were going to make it.
It was in this certain area.
In that certain area.
Yes.
And there was a lot of people that were against that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people for it.
Yes.
There was a lot more people for it than there were against it.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally would say no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not for that.
Right.
But if I'm a representative and 75% of my constituents are telling me, yes, we would like for that to happen, irregardless of what I think,
yes,
it's out the window. I got to vote the way those people tell me to vote.
And you don't water down your constituents. And I say that what I mean is you don't go to a certain sector of your constituents where you're going to get the answer.
Yeah, you got to go across.
You go to the good, the bad, the ugly, and that's what you have to
ugly.
do.
Are you calling your?
There's nobody ugly around here.
But the way things are right now, Bo, we have the technology. We have the ability to use our phones and set up a Facebook page or a website or even an app where you could get your constituents' opinion in a moment by putting a poll out.
You sure can.
Just like that. And why is everybody so scared of polls? They're afraid of what they're going to say.
They're afraid of what they're going to say, and that's okay because that's what they are for. That's what a poll's for. It's for saying let's see what the majority says. And a poll that, there are polls that are going to have different results, but more than likely, if you put 10 polls together, it'll be close, unless it's some way manipulated or something. You put a real poll out and let the cards fall where they lay.
Well, here's the way I'm looking at this, Bo, and we've talked about local is most important, and I'm going to just finish our talk today. We're talking about how local government is the most important level of government. We can sit here and fuss about Washington, D.C., and we can fuss about our representative. Yeah, we can flush. It really needs to be flushed right into the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
But we can look at our state, at the way things are. But when our county is in a state of good old boy network, clicks, and certain influencers peddling power and doing all these things, most of the time they just think it's business as usual. Well, so too is our state government, and so too is our federal government. It's just a good old boy network. The whole thing is.
Yes.
We have to take it down, and the place to start is right where you're sitting.
Right here. And
right here.
And a solution to that, and I always say, and I like to attend and be present. But when I say be present in local government, it doesn't mean you have to show up at every meeting. Nowadays, we're blessed with the technology where we can watch every meeting. You can watch planning committee. They had our training on last night. You can watch our training.
Chuck Glover comes on. Everyone needs to be better informed on what goes on in the city and county. Shelbyville now is a great place to start. Now, folks need to get out and vote since they're better informed. And
perfectly said, Chuck.
Perfectly said. And also, what you just said, being able to watch your government elected representatives, that's what they are. They're not leaders.
Not leaders.
I'm so sick of hearing that.
Represent servants. Think of a deacon. We've talked about
listeners.
Listeners. Yes.
Your representatives are on camera conducting the business for you.
Yes.
Watch what they do.
Watch what they do. You can watch them right there. I mean, it's an open book. So when I say be plugged in, be there, you don't have to attend meetings anymore, y'all. You can plug in on your computer and watch them. And then, maybe not just watch. If you have a real concern, then start making the contact, start being a noise, start being the constituent. We have a responsibility just as much as those that are representing us do.
Oh yeah.
We've got to talk. We've got to let them know, and if we don't, then that's dangerous. Be plugged in, You cannot plug in too much on every aspect. It takes time. It takes dedication, but this country's worth it. There are people that have dedicated and lost their lives for this country. And I think we could dedicate a little time to understand what's going on. And that way we'll have more of a say so.
And be honest with you, Bo, there's a lot of people who have lost their lives for somebody to make some money.
Yes, they have.
And I see that happening right now in the world. You look at what's been going on in Ukraine.
Yeah, life's.
It's about the industrial war complex that we have. What am I trying to say? The industrial complex.
That's
the war machine.
The war machine
that's selling all the bullets, all right, and all the missiles.
They're selling death.
You got that. You got the situation going on with Israel. Then now we're looking at Venezuela right in our back door here in this hemisphere. Sort of. It's just close, right from us. Enough. It's close, okay. And they're talking about going down there because of drugs, but it's got to do with oil.
It's got to do with oil. Don't lie to us.
I know.
Tell us the truth.
And then I heard somebody in the War Department, they call it now, Colombia's next, and possibly Cuba.
So we're just going to annex a bunch of countries.
I don't know what we're going to do. I hope there's somebody with a level head will go into President Trump's office and say, "Hey, you don't need to do this."
I say get rid of the drugs, and I say help those locals get back on their feet.
Right.
But once again, they'll get taken over again. It's such a bigger picture, and no, we don't need to be taking lives or sacrificing our own lives for the dollar, the almighty dollar.
Yeah,
it should be for freedom.
But that's what motivates these spheres of influence and these networks of power brokers.
You're right.
That's all over our country, and yes, right here in Bedford County. And I think there's some people that are enveloped in it and don't even realize it.
No, they don't. You're exactly right.
Don't even realize it.
And there's a lot of them that just laugh at
exactly,
people like me and you. They just laugh.
Yeah,
they're just laughing at us, and that's
fine.
okay. Keep laughing. That's fine.
That's fine. But you know what? I'm thinking that at some point, the people of Bedford County are going to wise up, and they're going to start putting people in the office that actually represent them. And they're not going to be electing a leader or a king or an authority. They're actually going to be electing representatives. And we have a handful of them in there now.
We do.
It's just that handful needs to be two handfuls.
There you go. We could use a few handfuls.
10.
Okay. Yeah, we need a few handfuls.
Right. But anyway, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
I hope you will go and read the article if you hadn't. Give us comments, anything you'd like to talk about. And just to throw out there, just to give you a little preview of what's to come, we're going to have a poll for every county commissioner and every city council coming up between now and Christmas. I'm going to be posting it on Facebook and on our website, and you will be directed to go to our website to take the poll so you can rate your commissioners.
A report card for your commissioners.
That's right. And there'll be 5 categories.
I like it.
Okay.
Stay tuned for that.
We did this once before,
and
then there's a formulation that takes place that gives an approval rating for each one.
Yes,
and we'll rate them from top to bottom.
And that will be a source for information. That's where exactly a starting point. It's not all encompassing. It's not where you get all of it.
Here's the thing: I can't control who votes on the polls. Okay, but I can control people from voting 50 times.
Yeah,
that happens.
Get one vote.
One vote.
That's it. Now,
one poll not long ago we put up. You could tell that there was a battle to get this thing looking better for the establishment because somebody went in and from the same IP address voted 80-something times.
My God. They were bored that day.
I'm telling you.
They were really bored. This weekend, we need to mention we got the big tomorrow, the big Christmas celebration
lighting, fireworks.
Yeah, and I heard fireworks.
Dignitaries. Dignitaries.
Did we figure that out?
No,
yeah. There's going to be, and I heard
really.
There's a rumor there's going to be snow. There's going to be some produced snow somewhere there. So you just watch out. There's a snow machine involved. It's not going to be as cold as it was last year. How much is that costing you, Bo? I don't. It's not mine. It's not mine. I would like to bring it, but
you're paying for it.
Well, no, this is a private individual that's doing it for themselves. Sure. Yeah, they've got I think they're having a little booth set up.
Free snow.
Free snow. They're doing the snow. Hey, and here's the best news. Our fine chairman of the Plan Commission, Warren Landers, he made an announcement on the record. The popcorn stand will be open on Friday and on Saturday during the parade, and it is open during the car show events on the square. So let's support the popcorn stand. Now, this money is not going to Warren. Warren's a fine man. He would take the money if he was in business, popcorn business, but he's not in the popcorn.
He's not in the popcorn.
He drills wells.
Yeah.
This money's going to good causes. He mentioned those at our meeting, and I do forget which one. But I know that the event tomorrow night is going to a certain good cause, and then the one on Saturday.
Donations, right?
It's donations. It's donations. So it's popcorn. Go visit the popcorn shed like it's 1960 or 1955.
Yeah, all right.
And
go back in time.
Yes.
All right. We're going to get out of here, and again, we're going to thank our sponsor, North Point Services out of Nashville.
Yes,
a new store.
That's right.
And we appreciate them.
Water damage. Fire damage,
any kind of damage.
I mean, that's
storm
when
damage,
you need it. The emergency situations, and you've got to get those drivers.
They can get right there on it.
Yeah, call them up.
And we also have another sponsor that's coming on with us, starting on our next show, is Norris Plumbing. They're back with us.
Back with us. All right, good. 24-hour plumbing. We love Norris Plumbing. They're local. They've been doing it for.
Jay just did some work for us and did an outstanding job. Very professional. Showed up when they said they were, when he said he was, and got the job done, and it was tip top. So
that's great. Multi-generational. Norris Plumbing.
All right, we're gonna get out of here, Bo. We'll be back again on Monday after all the excitement.
All the excitement.
But be on the lookout for the polls coming out so you can rate your commissioner and your council person if you live in the city. We'll see you guys.
And don't forget about the weekend shows.
We got the sports show coming Saturday morning along with the weekend wrap up, which we have a lot of Uncle Nearest news that's coming out.
Oh, a lot of
man, it's just like going crazy.
It is.
It's going crazy. But we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
And
thank y'all.
Have a great evening. Bundle up. Stay warm.